Cable 4. You are viewing Twin County Cable 4, your choice for community programming in the Lehigh Valley.
Kid Dome on the campus of Northampton Area High School in Northampton, Pennsylvania. Twin County Cable 4 Sports presents Independent High School Wrestling. Tonight's matchup features the Blue Eagles of Nazareth High School. They are coached by Ray Nunemaker as they will take on the Concrete Kids of Northampton High School. They are coached by Don Roan. Hello, everybody. I'm Gary Laubach along with Scott Barr, and we have got a packed house here tonight. This is a sellout here at Northampton. The crowd already loud and boisterous, as it always is when Nazareth meets Northampton. And Scott, we've got another classic matchup. Each team comes in with a loss, as Nazareth lost to Phillipsburg in a heartbreaking loss. Northampton, of course, lost to Shikellamy. So the teams come in rated 1, 2, depending on how you look at it. It should be another classic.
And it really will be. You look up and down the lineup, and it really, I always say, it depends how they match up. And tonight they've really matched up to Nazareth's favor, and that might surprise a lot of fans, because Northampton has been absolutely stellar this year. They've wrestled a lot of close matches and won them all, except for the Shikellamy match. And I think the crowd will have a lot to say about it. They're fired up tonight, and it's going to be a nice one tonight.
Scott, much has been made about the fact that someone was in charge of the Northampton schedule and put together an Easton match on a Thursday night and a Nazareth match the following Saturday night. Don Roan has used the word disgusting. How much of an effect might it have?
Minimal. If these kids can't get fired up for Nazareth, they're not on a Donnie Roan team. Donnie hasn't fired up. In fact, they had an easier time making weight than the Nazareth guys did tonight. If you're going to wrestle a tough schedule, stuff happens. You're going to get two tough guys back-to-back. Nazareth, on the other hand, last week went down to Virginia, back-to-back, wrestled the two defending state championship teams. Walloped them both. So you get tough teams back-to-back. Nazareth had it last year. Easton had it the year before. Stuff happens. The kids are fired up. It doesn't make a difference.
Sounds like a good bumper sticker. Stuff happens. All right, let's take a look at the matchups as we have them tonight. We do not think there are going to be too many games played by either one of the coaches. We'll look at the first three matches. At 103, Sean Topping, the freshman, will take on Mike Tomzik, the sophomore from Northampton. You're going to go with experience here?
You have to. Tomzik looks good this year. Take him for probably bonus points.
We move to 112. It'll be Dan Tashner, who is just a fabulous freshman. 12-0-2 coming into tonight, but he'll take on a pretty fabulous senior in Chad Billy.
Yeah, again, Chad Billy, big match experience. Look for Billy to win. Any other night, he's prohibitive favorite. Not tonight. Take him for 3.
They may need bonus points, though, here if they're going to win this match.
I'll tell you, Billy is capable of getting them, but Tashner's the kind of guy that'll keep the match close. I don't think Billy will get bonus points.
At 119, it'll be Chad Feichtel, a junior, against Joe Rubin, a junior. Scott, this looks like one of the toss-ups of the night. This is one that may be a very big key to who wins the match.
Yeah, there's about 4 toss-ups tonight. I've got them split evenly. I have Nazareth in this one. Feichtel has looked real good. Strong kid. Good record. Rubin with the good record, but I'm going with Feichtel in this one.
All right, let's look at the next couple. 125, Ryan Nunemaker, the outstanding junior for Nazareth. He's undefeated against John Eppinger, a senior. One would think you'd go with Nunemaker.
Yeah, I'll go with Nunemaker. It'll be close until the third period. Then Ryan Nunemaker will take over, probably for a bonus point.
All right, 130 pounds, Todd Colino, a senior from Nazareth, against a sophomore, Steve Gogler. You going to go with experience again?
Yeah, I am. Todd Colino, strong kid. Will throw a spladle on occasion, and I say on occasion quite sarcastically. He'll look for it from all over, but strong enough and has enough other moves that he'll win this match.
The next triple will start with 135. Steve Hersick and Steve Moyer, both outstanding wrestlers, both with good records. Another key toss-up.
Yeah, this is a toss-up that I've given to Northampton. Steve Hersick, if this were the first match of the year, I probably would have favored him. Steve Hersick hasn't been on top of his game this year for one reason or another. He's shown an uncanny ability to be beaten, and I think he'll turn that around, but for the time being, I'm going to go with Moyer.
140 pounds, Kenny Hawes, a senior, against Tim Everett of Northampton, a sophomore. This one not too easy to call.
No, it really isn't. And this is back-to-back, 135, 140. If Northampton doesn't sweep, it's going to be a long night.
145, Sean McAlone. We know he's been a real good Nazareth wrestler for a few years against Steve Yost, also a senior, but he doesn't have McAlone's experience.
No, he doesn't. McAlone in district finals last year. Take McAlone definitely for bonus points.
All right, we move on. Adam Colombo, a sophomore, at 152 against Ben Kern, a senior. Kern's been in and out. Colombo only with 4 matches under his belt. Perhaps another toss-up?
I'm going to take Colombo. The only reason I officiated a match that Colombo wrestled. He really impressed me. He's very, very unorthodox. Does a lot of rolls, does a lot of spins. He's the kind of guy that'll give Ben Kern fits. And Ben generally keeps things close to the vest, and Colombo won't let him do that. I'm taking Colombo.
160, Mark Matson, Danny's younger brother, a sophomore, against Andy Doster, the senior from Northampton. Doster's been pretty solid all year.
He really has. Wait till you see these two guys next to each other. Matson might be the tallest 160-pounder in the district, and Doster is probably the shortest. And Doster is really cut like a bodybuilder. You have to go with the senior in this one.
Let's look at our final 3 matchups. 171, Darren Wenrich, the senior, against the hero of the Easton match, Billy Wombold, the junior. Can he be a hero again tonight?
Not tonight. Darren Wenrich just has too much. Darren Wenrich, very well put together young man, knows his moves. He's at his weight at 171. This should be a short one. 189
pounds. This might be a short one, too. Dan Matson, the senior from Nazareth, outstanding, 9-0 in the year. Jesse Cucker, the junior from Northampton.
Danny Matson, Nazareth's all-time leading pinner. I've got him for another one tonight.
We believe at heavyweight we'll see Jim Lutz, the senior from Nazareth, against Jason Grimm, the sophomore. Paul Wickman may be in there for Nazareth.
Depending on how it shakes out, yeah, but still, Jason Grimm favored. If Nazareth wants to avoid the fall, Wickman will be there. Lutz may be a better wrestler, but he's shown an ability. Of his 4 losses, 3 are by fall. Ray wants to avoid that.
As I follow you, as we went through the 13 matchups, it appears to me that you believe Nazareth is going to win this.
I really do. I don't even think it'll come down to heavyweight. I've got about a 10-point spread. I don't think it'll be that far apart. That's just on paper. But what we're saying is Northampton has to wrestle their match of the year to come close to beating Nazareth.
We'll just pass this note along to you. Shikellami's been in town today, and they did beat the Easton Red Rovers by a 29-22 score. That really is totally unimportant in this gymnasium tonight. We've got the Nazareth people to our right, the Northampton people to our left. It will be absolute chaos. We'll have the noise and the chaos for you right after this timeout.
The holidays may be gone, but there's one package being held over just for you. The Money Store Prime Package with fixed-rate home equity loans as low as prime. We're extending our holiday offer for a limited time only to help homeowners pay off credit card bills, make home improvements, anything at all. Trust the Money Store to give homeowners a prime package when they need it most. Call right now, 1-800-LOAN-YES. Program may be canceled without notice.
When I first tried drugs, it seemed kind of fun. But after a while, I knew I was losing control, so I quit. I've tried quitting 3 times since then. In only 2 years, I've lost everything I ever cared about. My life is a mess. I need control again.
Call your friends at the Central Assembly of God, 1300 Eaton Avenue in Bethlehem, 865-0577.
Welcome back. We have gotten to the center of the mat, and so have the 2 wrestlers at 103 pounds. For Nazareth, Sean Topping, a freshman. He's 2-8 on the year. For Northampton, Mike Tomsick. He's a sophomore. He's 11-4-1 on the year. Big match. 2 good officials, 2 outstanding officials. Bob Coletta will be working this one. Gene Wass will be the official walking the mat during this one, and to call tonight's hold by hold. Here is Scott Barr.
Northampton looking for bonus points early here from Tomsick, who has done an outstanding job for them all year long. Had a pin in that P-Bird match that I wasn't able to attend, and sadly missed an exciting night of wrestling. And I'll tell you what, if you're having a color problem on your TV set, adjust it on Mike Tomsick's shoes. They are a lovely shade of lavender.
Yeah, they don't quite match, make a fashion statement with that orange and black uniform.
And I believe the soles are lime green. So badly clashing out there, but we expect him to perform rather well. Sean Topping has run into a lot of tough guys this year. We saw him in the Easton match against a good Gino Cerulli. So a solid kid out there for the Blue Eagles. He's just had an awful tough time surviving at this weight class.
Isn't it interesting, Scott, this year that there are really not a large number of good wrestlers as we get to the heavier weights, but there's a huge plethora of kids at the bottom of the weights.
Yeah, I think districts is going to be just as competitive at both ends, but for different reasons. I think at the top, I think you can pencil in guys like Danny Matson and Aaron Poster and Howie Miller, but at the bottom, you really just don't know who it's going to be.
We've wrestled 1 minute and 25 seconds of the first period. There still is no score. Neither wrestler has really taken a good shot. 103 pounds. It will be a exciting night of wrestling. We're going to get a stalling call against Sean Topping. Bob Coletta normally does not let the wrestlers stand around very much.
And Topping immediately follows that warning for stalling with a shot. Thompson comes over with a concrete, a cement job, and he's over top. He's trying to hook up double grapevine. He's got 10 seconds and all the mat he wants. You see the time in the corner. He's over top of Topping. There it is. That could be the fall. There it is.
It comes at 1 minute and 59 seconds. 1 second left on the clock. And just like that, the Concrete Kids go up by a 6-0 score. We'll be right back.
People associate the name Scott with Chevrolet. Over the last 8 years, we've sold more Chrysler Plymouths than any dealer in the Lehigh Valley. Our customer satisfaction index at Chrysler is the highest in the Lehigh Valley. And to those people that are out there that haven't visited Scott Chrysler Plymouth yet, all I can say is it's worth the trip from wherever you are. And with 78 open now, that means from either Easton or Bethlehem, we're only 15 to 20 minutes away. We'll make it worth your trip.
I remember my mom going to Walter's Pharmacy. Now I go. Walter's fills my prescription needs quickly, and I pay my Bell of PA and UGI bills. When I can't get away, Walter's comes to me with free delivery. Walter's Pharmacy, making life easier through genuine care since 1937. Walter's Pharmacy, 401 North 17th Street in the Allentown Medical Center.
We are back. I'm sure we're going to get another look at Tomsik's pin, but right now we've got excitement out there. Dan Tashner of Nazareth, a freshman, 12-0-2 on the year against Chad Billy, a senior, 15-1. Let's go to the replay.
Patented cement job by Tomsik, just the way they draw it up on the board, and there it is. And the fall takes place.
Well, the only battle, Scott, was the clock.
It really was. You didn't know, and he steps over and gets a double grapevine. There's nothing much is going on live action right now. Steps over, gets the double grapevine. Watch Bob Coletta roll over, smack the mat. It's over. Great move, Mike Tomsik. Chad Billy allowed the escape to Dan Tashner as the score is now 2-1. And there's another takedown for Chad Billy. He is really working hard out there. Nice job. You see Chad Billy out there in the orange uniform. Tomsik was out there in the black. Takes the optional start, allows another escape to Danny Tashner. Mentioned in the pregame that I didn't think Chad Billy would be able to get bonus points from Dan Tashner, but he's certainly working that way right now. In on another single leg. Feet are in bounds. Remember the feet in rule. Oh, nice power roll on the edge. Gene Wan says yes, takedown. Great move on the edge by Chad Billy. Gary, we talk about good wrestlers scoring at the edge of the mat. We saw that from Chad Billy. We talk about good wrestlers scoring at the end of the period. We saw that from Mike Tomsik. Things are going very much according to plan.
Take another look at the pin now by Mike Tomsik.
You can see as he steps over, he hooks up the double grapevine and he just picks right up on the head. His head is Tomsik's head is off the mat. He goes chest to chest. He's on his toes, arches his back. Boy, a great pinning hold.
And you see that the pin did occur with 1 second on the clock. We had it in the upper right-hand corner. Scott, you made an interesting point. Tomzik wore a black singlet, and now Chad Billy out there in an orange singlet, and I guess there's no rule about everybody having to wear the same uniform.
It's not baseball, that's for sure. You just have to have a legal uniform on, and the uniform certainly is legal, and there are requirements for how far down the leg the singlet must go and how much opening there is around under the armpit, and certainly the team uniforms meet that.
Danny Tashner, T-A-S-H-N-E-R, the freshman, 12-0-2, currently finds himself trailing by a 6-3 score. We've got 48 seconds to wrestle here in the first period.
And I'll guarantee you in another 2 or 3 years, everybody in the district will be able to spell Tashner, because he's going to be around for a while no matter what happens here tonight.
Billy with the takedown now leads 8-3, 34 seconds on the clock. Chad Billy with 4 takedowns. He has allowed 3 escapes to Tashner. Billy leads 8-3.
Nice article in the Morning Call about the Wrestling Billy family as another escape is allowed. And I'll tell you, you could poll everybody in District 11, ask them what the most important surname in District 11 wrestling is, and I'll bet 80% of them say Billy. There seems to be a Billy every year for the past 20 or 30 years. And from what I hear, Chad Billy is the end of the line. He's the last one we'll get to enjoy, and this is his senior year.
That's hard to believe. Final 10 seconds now, and what I'm sure for Danny Tashner has been a very long first period.
He's really overwhelmed out there. He just took a half a shot, and that's not Dan Tashner. Maybe he'll get a chance to relax a little bit in the second period and open up his game a little bit.
8-4 is the score. Nazareth defers their choice, and Billy says, I'll start neutral, and he's been very successful on his feet.
Hey, see, there's the danger of the take him down, let him up game. Billy completely dominant in that first period, and yet he is only 1 move ahead of Tashner and 4 points, but here he's going to get another takedown as soon as he frees his arm. Tries for the drop, doesn't get it. Good balance by Danny Tashner. Before we get real carried away here in the goings-on of these first 2 bouts, let's keep in mind Northampton expected to win the first 2 bouts, probably gathering bonus points as we have another stoppage for blood.
We will have wrestling for you next Saturday night again as we'll go into the Colonial League, and we'll get our first and probably only look at Catasauqua as a team, and we'll have them taking on the Wilson Warriors. Wilson with some outstanding individual wrestlers, and yet they have had some problems filling 2 or 3 of the weight classes, and that has caused them some real problems in dual meets.
It's almost a given that the Warriors will give up 30 points to everybody. It's a matter of can they overcome it, and they've done relatively well in that this year. We saw them finish a very strong 3rd in the Christmas City tournament that we broadcast here on Twin County. And Catasauqua was a very close 4th place. So that should be a real interesting dual meet. Seems, though, it'll be the battle for 2nd place in the Colonial League as Nazareth has really put together a solid team. After all the naysayers in the beginning of the year were wondering if they could stay on top of the heap for another year.
Nazareth only lost to Phillipsburg.
Chad Billy using this as a pacing type period. Bob Coletta being a good assistant official, wiping up the blood so Gene Wass doesn't have to.
Danny may need a transfusion before this match is over.
Yeah, he's running pretty freely there. Looks like just 1 nostril, though, and that's not entirely bad news.
As opposed to the 2 nostril bleeding.
That's the worst kind, boy, I'll tell you.
Scott, not a bad time to take our look at your top 10. So let's take and see what you've been doing since you've been relaxing for a month.
Yeah, top 10 really hasn't changed an awful lot. A lot of it changed by gut feeling. You see Wilson drop from 7th to 8th. Parkland jumped from 10th to 7th. And we slid Freedom in there at the expense of Liberty. And Liberty had a tough time of it. In fact, was beaten by Wilson. But basically unchanged. This match could really shuffle things up by all accounts unless Northampton would come away with the win. And they certainly have the talent to do it. It's just that I really don't expect them to.
This could be another one of those years where the team title for 3A wrestling could be very exciting.
It really could.
The district team title. Final 15 seconds. It remains 8-4, and that's the way the score was in the first period. And just like that, Billy gets the takedown. And the only point scored in this period, Billy leads 10-4. Billy with 5 takedowns. He has allowed 4 escapes. And that's the way the period will end. So Chad Billy leads Dan Tashner of Nazareth by a 10-4 score. Another important matchup for Northampton in terms of bonus points. Scott believes, as does most of the media. We did talk to Ted Meixel, and we talked to Bobby Flounders of the Express. Ted Meixel, of course, of the Morning Call. And between Scott and Ted and Bobby, they all believe that Nazareth will win tonight. And that normally means that some of these guys have got to get some bonus points for the Concrete Kids if they're going to win it.
And as Chad Billy gets the escape here, they are already 3 points ahead of where I had them. I figured Tomzik for a bonus point or so, but it looks like they're going to pick up 1 here, and I didn't expect that from Billy. So there's 2 in the first bout and 1 here. So that makes it, well, I came up with 30-19, Gary. That frankly shocked me when I added it up.
There you get a look at Don Roan. Don, as quick as ever, he walked right out of our camera. You know, when I first started doing wrestling, I was kind of even afraid to talk to Don. He puts on that mean face before a wrestling match. He's one of the nicest guys around.
He really is. He's got a game face, though, and I'll tell you what, if we had a coaches tournament, the smart money would be on the national champ in the chair. Donnie was an outstanding wrestler, of course. And it's hard to think of him not from Northampton, but he didn't do any wrestling at all for Northampton. He was down at, was it Hellertown when he was there, or was it Saucon Valley at that time?
I think it might have been Hellertown at that time. He wrestled for Mr. Bartlett, I believe.
Yes, he did, and didn't win the state championship his senior year. Got defeated in the semifinals, but went on for Clarion and became a national champ. So I'd put him against any coach in the district.
That's Charles Bartlett. Now we're going to get an injury timeout for Billy. So we have gone from bench to bench here in every period. The score is 11-4 in favor of Chad Billy. We're at the 112-pound matchup. At 103 pounds, Mike Tomczyk pinned Sean Topping in 1 minute and 59 seconds. And that's why the Concrete Kids lead here by a 6-0 score.
And possibly Ray Nunemaker has a rule that a lot of coaches do. If you get pinned in the last 10 seconds of a period, that's extra laps. You hate to see that happen. It could have been a 2-0 score. Instead, is a 6-0 team score.
Another takedown is critical here for Billy. That would give him a major decision, 4 team points for the Concrete Kids. He leads by 7. There it is.
Big drop for Chad Billy as Tashner started coming in with his arms up, came in like a tree, and he went down like one, too. As now Chad Billy is working for the tilt to score 13-4. He is up by 9. But Tashner said looking for the reversal. There it is.
Big reversal. It's back to a 7-point lead. 13-6.
Billy needs the escape. If he gets the escape, it's an extra team point. If he doesn't, that's going to hurt. You see, we need to put the clock up there on the screen for you.
Let's get the clock up now. It's important.
10 seconds to go as he circles out front for the quarter Nelson. Tashner working up top, steps over. Boy, what a great effort by Danny Tashner as he gives up just 3 team points.
13-6 the final score, and that's only a 7-point difference. Chad Billy is your winner, but Dan Tashner may have come up with a very important reversal. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Make Whitehall Auto Parts the most important stop for your car. We're a major supplier of foreign and domestic auto and light truck parts and have one of the largest inventories in the Lehigh Valley. We also provide machine shop services and are equipped for complete engine rebuilding. Whitehall Auto Parts stands behind their products. Make your next stop at Whitehall Auto Parts, 2741 MacArthur Road in Whitehall. We're open weekdays 8 to 8, Saturday 8 to 4, and Sunday 9 to 4. Or phone 437-4604.
The Lehigh Valley is going to the dogs. Pot's Hot Dogs, that is. Yes, everybody's rushing into their nearby Pot's Doggy Shop for America's best hot dog, covered with all their favorite stuff. So don't be left behind. Get your pups moving to the Pots where you live or work.
Fight the one you love.
119 pounds for Nazareth. Chad Feichtel, a junior, 13-4 on the year. For the Concrete Kids, Joe Rubin, a junior, 14-2 on the year. Let's see if Rubin can kind of take the boost here from his first couple of teammates and keep the steamroll going.
These two guys know how important this match is, as do the fans and the coaches and most of the media. This is a real toss-up bout. Chad Feichtel has wrestled some tough matches.
Let's take a look at the last match, the importance of the reversal.
This is the big takedown by Billy right here. As you see, Kastner comes straight in and gets tossed right to his back quickly.
Looked like he might get back points, but he couldn't hold him there.
He really did, and it takes a tough wrestler to hold a tough wrestler down like that. But as they work their way over to the edge of the mat, and we're not missing anything live action here, as the two guys are just jostling back and forth, Billy just gets a little sloppy with the back hook as he's going, it looks like, for more back points.
Scott, it appeared that when he got the takedown, the bench was excited because they felt he could have slapped the cradle on, and in working forward is when he got a little sloppy.
Yeah, he really did miss it, and we can cut away from it right there.
Back to the live action, there it is.
As nothing changed from there, it ended up 13-6 instead of 13-4. Not sure exactly what the fancy
nice
for.
ankle pick.
Feichtel with the cross ankle pick as he went with the underhook, cross ankle pick, and he'll get the two.
Feichtel leads 2-0, 30 seconds to wrestle, first period.
Gary, I know that's your favorite move because you never miss that one.
That's right.
You never miss it.
That's the one that is descriptive of what it actually does.
It really
throw
is.
Me a spladle and I'm lost.
Escape basically allowed by Feichtel as he tries to duck under here. Rubin this time with the underhook. Both these guys working the underhook, and to use that, you really need to throw the arm up and attack a leg. And you really want the under part of the underhook. You don't want to go over because it's very tough to go through an arm. You can go under an arm, but to go through an arm is a lot more difficult.
End of the first period. Chad Feichtel of Nazareth leads by a 2-1 score. And in fact, he's the first Nazareth wrestler to have a lead here tonight. This is one of those key toss-up bouts that Scott talked about at the top of the show. He did believe that Chad Feichtel would eke this one out.
Escape allowed to Feichtel here, as Rubin has not had success on their feet, but he certainly has not been dominated. Good wrestlers will win on their feet, and Joe Rubin and Chad Feichtel, certainly two of those. Chad Feichtel had a good shot there. He just forgot to get hand control. Joe Rubin, really a master of the wrist control. You see, that's the last thing he'll get rid of, boy. He'll stay inside, 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 block off. Nazareth fans really arguing for the stalling call as Rubin was blocking. It's
takedown by Rubin. Scott, I'll tell you, you talk about sports being a game of inches. Those two guys were just battling strength for strength, and it was a matter of which one was just a little bit stronger. And that time it proved to be Rubin.
And I think Rubin used more leverage than anything there as Feichtel just couldn't throw him over the top. He stayed back, kept his hips low. Real nice technique.
Feichtel now leads 4-3 after the escape is allowed by Rubin. Second period.
Feichtel, in fact, was trying the same move that Tomczyk used to pin Topping in the first bout. Couldn't get it. Rubin exciting the crowd a little bit. I think if Feichtel would have come down full on his side, I think it would have been a slam because you need to bring the man down to the mat safely, and it didn't look real safe from this angle.
50 seconds, 4-3. Feichtel leads. This wrestling match has been sold out for 2 weeks. There are people everywhere you can put them in this gymnasium.
I think this has been a sellout for the past 4 years here. We've had, last year, of course, we were up at Nazareth, and we had people watching on closed circuit in the cafeteria. I think this is the independent rivalry in the district. You can talk about East and Nazareth. You can talk about any of the others, but I really think Nazareth Northampton Wrestling has really got it.
Beautiful takedown.
No takedown, Feichtel. Instead, he's got Ruben in trouble. He'll get at least back points. He's got 10 seconds to go. Looked like Bobby Coletta was trying to roll over to call the fall.
2 and 3, takedown and 3 back points.
If we
Give
can get
Chad Feichtel a 9-3 lead. Take another look.
Yeah, this is an important one to take a look at. This is the same move that Tomczyk used, as it looked like Ruben was in on the takedown. Feichtel goes under and over, steps over. Now keep an eye on Bobby Coletta. Keep an eye on him. He's right under there. He's looking at it. He's got the angle. It looked like Coletta was going to roll over and slap the mat. Instead, it looked like he was just getting out of the way of the two wrestlers.
And Scott, while he was rolling away, I thought that Ruben was his flattest.
I really did.
I'm not sure he had him down there for 2 seconds, but I thought as he had to get out of the way to Bob Coletta, it appeared at that point Joe Ruben was as flat as he was through that entire sequence.
And I'll tell you, it's tough to... It may be that Joe Ruben's shoulders were never both on the mat. That's the toughest one for the fans to see, and certainly for us to see, and also for the referee to see. You got to be in there real tight, and as soon as the kids move, you got to move too, and you lose your field of vision. So it's a tough one for Bobby to call. He was right there doing all he could, and bottom line is Chad Feichtel now leads 9-3, and he's a takedown away from a major decision.
There you get a look at the numbers that are here tonight. It is a packed house.
That is the visiting crowd.
To recap the second period for you, Feichtel was allowed an escape and went up 3-1, and then Ruben with that strength takedown made it 3-3. He allowed the escape to Feichtel, 4-3 Feichtel, and then just as it looked like Ruben was going to get a takedown, Feichtel got the takedown and put Ruben on his back for 3 near fall points, and just like that, the match goes to 9-3 in favor of Chad Feichtel.
And you know, the truth is, one of these guys is probably one move better than the other. That may have been the move. If they wrestled again, Joe Ruben might hit that move. But I think these guys are probably one move apart.
Ruben escapes, 9-4. And as Scott often says, he is now one move away from tying this up. If he can get the takedown and the 3 back points.
And, you know, that's the second time that Feichtel tried to hit that over and under combination. This time tries a throw by. All he has to do is stay out of this move, as Ruben has the takedown, but he was close to that 5-pointer.
9-6, lots of time, 1:25 on the clock.
If you're thinking about playing take him down, let him up, I think it'll take too long. The score now 10-6 favor of Feichtel. He needs 4 takedowns. I don't think he can do that. He needs a big one. And big moves more often come from your feet than any place else. So you might as well let him up and go for the big one from there. Feichtel needs to make a move, grab a leg, kill some time. Ruben gets another takedown.
And the escape.
11-8. He needs 3 more in the last 50 seconds. And again, I don't think that can be done, but Joe Ruben has a better chance of tossing Feichtel to his back from their feet.
40 seconds.
Not sure what Ruben was trying to do there. He just basically pulled Feichtel toward the edge of the mat. Maybe he was trying to set him up for some sort of throw, and Feichtel did exactly the right thing and went in for the shot. He's half shooting now. He does not have a warning for stalling. He may be willing to take one here with 30 seconds to go. Ruben goes in on one leg. Feichtel has a front headlock. Tries to step through and grab the leg. Now is trying the side cradle. Feichtel making the takedown. 10 seconds to go. It looks like Chad Feichtel will win this match.
Final 5 seconds. Feichtel leads by 3. They will remain neutral. The final score, Chad Feichtel of Nazareth 11. Joe Rubin of Northampton 8. Nazareth is on the board. They trail by a 9-3 score. 125 coming up.
The Bethlehem Restaurant and Diner, located on Catasauqua Road, is open 24 hours daily, except Sundays till 9 p.m. If dessert's on your mind, we've got some ice cream treats that can't be beat. Try your favorite milkshakes, ice cream sodas, and sundaes with all kinds of toppings and 12 delicious Hershey flavors. For a real change of pace, come in with your friends and gang up on the ultimate ice cream special, everything but the kitchen sink. Enjoy your favorite dessert at the Bethlehem Restaurant and Diner on Catasauqua Road.
Stay in shape the fun way on Patty's Body Shop, Tuesdays at 7 p.m., right here on Twin County Cable 4. You're viewing Twin County Cable 4, your choice for community programming in the Lehigh Valley.
125 pounds for the Blue Eagles. Ryan Nunemaker, the junior, 14-0 on the year against John Eppinger, a senior. Eppinger is 9-5-1 on the year.
Something ugly was going on down here behind the Northampton bench. The Nazareth fans were pointing, and it looked like Joe Rubin was having a discussion with some of them, although I can't be sure of that. But boy, Gary, we have enough people in here that if it chooses to get ugly, it's going to be real ugly. I really hope that doesn't happen.
This has never been the most pleasant of rivalries between the fans.
I'll tell you, there's no love lost, but there's a tremendous amount of respect for each other. There really is. And once you get past the district level, these two groups of fans root for each other tooth and nail all the way up to the state level.
Nunemaker always moving.
I'll tell you, if there's one thing you can say about Ryan Nunemaker, I think Ryan Nunemaker may be the best technician in the district. I don't know that he's the best wrestler pound for pound, but I really do believe he is the best technician out there. He hits moves very exactly. He has a great deal of mat awareness. He really just does moves perfectly.
Wonder if there's a big circle in the Nunemaker living room.
There was a circle in Ryan's crib.
Ryan, of course, the son of head coach Ray Nunemaker. Back to the center they come. 43 seconds, no score. John Eppinger of Northampton in the orange.
There's probably some question as to whether Ray Nunemaker will be around when Ryan Nunemaker disappears. That would certainly seem like an appropriate time for Ray to get on, and I know he's a very family-oriented gentleman, and his family is very, very important to him. And once Ryan's gone, I wouldn't at all be surprised. I mean, that's 30 years for Ray. It just sounds like the time to get out. I think it could win for lots more years. Just makes a lot of sense when you think about it.
There's not much more he can succeed in doing. He's done it all at Nazareth. Took him a while to get that state champion, but he got it.
3 times over now, and we may be looking at his next state champion. You hate to put that kind of pressure on a Ryan Nunemaker, but he was 5th in the state as a sophomore. Nazareth fans looking for stalling. Ryan tries to drop, no points in that first period.
I thought Eppinger wrestled a very fine first period.
Well, you back off once in front of this crowd, and you're stalling. Something to keep in mind. If you're not setting up a shot, making a shot, or defending a shot, then you're stalling. You've got to allow a guy the chance to defend himself and work from that. And a lot of times, you get to the point as an official where you say, well, if he backs off once more, I'll hit him for stalling. These two guys don't do that, Gene Wass and Bob Coletta. They don't go that once more. They say, well, he's stalling right now. And we'll see him dish it out if they're stalling. And they really they take it down to a very subjective kind of thing. They know when it's going on, and they'll call it. Although Gene has not handed out a stalling warning, and Bobby only has one tonight, and that's at the 103-pound class. And about 10 seconds later, that one was over anyway.
.125, second period, still no score here.
And not much action from the bottom. I think this is one time where we may see stalling. Gene keeps looking down there. We're not seeing any moves. We're not seeing Eppinger work up to his base. We are hearing the Nazareth fans. We are on the Nazareth side, so that is very clear. But of course, you take a look back at the legs, and Ryan Nunnemaker had that leg trap for a while. Tough to move with that. But Eppinger simply has not thrown a move here. He just hasn't done a move.
By the way, the Nazareth JVs won again, 44-24. The Nazareth Junior High team, however, this afternoon with a big crowd here at the gym, lost in what was considered a bit of an upset to the Northampton Junior High team.
Gene and I generally work very close on stalling, and there it finally is. I was really wondering what Gene was looking for. Evidently, he sees something out there that I don't from here. But Gene and I generally work very close on stalling. When I see stalling, he generally sees it too.
Final 10 seconds. We're going to get a warning for stalling against Nunnemaker.
Don't that make your brown eyes blue? I'll tell you, he just shut this crowd right down. And I'll tell you, take a look at that when you tape this, and I'm sure a lot of you do. Take a look at that. Ryan Nunnemaker was behind. He was trapping legs. He wasn't really working out to his side. And maybe that's why Gene Wass waited so long to make the call on Eppinger.
It's very important for Eppinger to get out here, and he does not. He tried very hard in the last 10 seconds to get the escape. There is still no score here after 4 minutes of wrestling.
In the pregame, I said it would be close until the third period. Ryan Nunnemaker, one of the finest conditioned wrestlers you'll see. We saw in the Easton match against Tyler Purdy, I think he got 7 takedowns in the third period. There's the escape.
1-0, Nunnemaker.
Both of them have a warning for stalling. If either one just sits here and hangs on, Gene will hit him for stalling. Ryan tying up both arms, very much a control wrestler, tries to throw as they go out of bounds. And of course, since Eppinger went out of bounds backwards, that's stalling in the minds of the Nazareth fans. Eppinger's working hard out there, actually. Nunnemaker content to try to tie up the arms.
Eppinger has made it very difficult for Nunnemaker to get anything done here. Stalling, 1 point awarded to Nunnemaker. Nunnemaker leads 2-0. Not a popular call with Don Roan. Takedown, escape. 4-1.
This really is Ryan Nunnemaker's game plan. I don't even think he paces himself the first 2 periods. I just think he's in such superb condition that he can just go a level above.
Nazareth fans will be very impatient for the next stalling call against Eppinger.
One woman on the Northampton side took it upon herself to stand up and yell, "Shut up," at the entire Nazareth crowd.
It didn't work, by the way.
If she could do that, she ought to be the official. If she can figure out a way to quiet this crowd down. Under and over by Eppinger. That is a stalling move unless he uses it. There it is.
The third stalling call against Eppinger. The 2nd point awarded to Nunnemaker. He leads by a 4-1 score.
Now it
should be 5, 6, yes.
1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5.
I have 5 also. And it will be now reversed and changed to 5. It's 5-1.
Another stalling call would be 2 points for Ryan Nunemaker. As we've gone warning 1-1, the next would be 2. And in the unlikely event we get another one, that would be a disqualification. But Ryan Nunemaker works his way all the way around on an arm drag for the take and 2 points. He's up 7-1.
He allowed the escape. They're very slow to put the points up on the board here. In fact, last time we had a serious problem with a bout that ended 8-1, and they had 9-1 up there, and that caused some confusion. This one's going to end with a 7-2 victory for Ryan Nunemaker of Nazareth, and Nazareth now gets within 3 team points. They trail 9-6. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Pharmacy and Home Health Care Center is more than just a drugstore, providing over 1,200 different brands of convalescent aids for you to rent or buy. We have a professional staff, including registered nurses, a respiratory therapist, and professional fitters. In our pharmacy department, we offer not only the compounding, but consultation on your prescriptions. We try to deliver the type of service that we would expect to receive. By keeping costs down and our compassion level high, we'll take care of billing either through Medicare or your private insurance. Hartzell's Pharmacy and Home Health Care Center, 2nd and Church Streets, Catasauqua.
Well, we're 2 minutes away from being 1/3 through this contest this evening. 130 pounds. Todd Colino of Nazareth, a senior, 9-4-2 on the year, against Steve Gaugler of Northampton. He is a sophomore. He is 3-2 on the season.
If Gaugler takes a shot, Colino will reach over, across the back, over to the leg, step across the near leg, and hit that splay.
Man, now I think I understand it.
It's been said that if all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. And I'll tell you, that's Colino's hammer, and everything looks like it, because he hits it from the bottom, he tries it from the top, he tries it from all over. In a match I officiated at Penn Argyll, he just got mad at a guy and hit it and pinned him. Double underhook here. He's got to get away from that. There's no move from there that he's going to hit. And Gaugler's just tying that out. That's a stalemate. Good call about it.
Nazareth using a different headgear than Northampton. They have that piece in the front of their forehead.
I always had a problem with that. That always slipped over the front and would cover your eyes. It just was uncomfortable to me. But the halo headgear really doesn't offer, the halo being the one that Gaugler is wearing, doesn't offer much in the way of protection. In fact, the main purpose of headgear is to prevent cauliflower ear. And you can get that with the halo headgear. I really don't think it works very well at all.
Well, it's been the case in a few matches tonight. We have had very little scoring in the first period, except for Chad Billy and Dan Tashner. That was 8-4. But right now, we're 30 seconds away, and it's still 0-0. First period, 130 pounds.
And while Northampton has probably done better than expected up to now, I really think they need to turn a bout around. They need to win a bout that they're not favored in to win this match. This would be one bout where they are not favored, that they have a chance. And now Gaugler finds himself in danger of being taken down as Colino steps over one leg, reaches across for the Navy. Navy ride. Then they go out of bounds. Nice defense, Steve Gaugler.
8 seconds, first period, no score. And that's the way the first period will end. Gaugler defers. As you get a look at that headgear on the head of Todd Colino.
You can see on the ears of that, there's a bubble actually over the ear. Cauliflower ear is caused by a constant contact with the ear. Sometimes you wake up at night and your ear will be sore from the pillow. That's what cauliflower ear feels like, except on a much greater scale. There will actually be fluid in there. This headgear does a real nice job of avoiding that, while the halo headgear that Gaugler is wearing really doesn't have that bubble. you can see that's a very, very soft plastic that'll actually compress right against the ear. So it doesn't eliminate the rubbing or the bumping at all. It offers some protection. You can still get cauliflower ear through that.
For people that have not wrestled, Scott, and I'm one of them, maybe you want to tell them a little bit about the pain that is caused by a cauliflower ear.
It's really tough to describe. It's very, very sharp pain, but if you don't touch it, it feels okay. It's actually fluid on the ear. You could actually go to the doctor and have that drained with a hypodermic. In fact, there have been extreme cases where the ear must actually be removed because there's so much damage to the cartilage that is the ear.
All right, I think you've told me more than I wanted to know. I didn't want to have ears removed. But just think about having that injury and still coming out to wrestle. There's an escape by Todd Colino. He leads by a 1-0 score.
And many, that is the wrestling injury. That is the typical wrestling injury, is cauliflower ear. You see Colino reaching, there's a surprise, reaching across the back for the spladle. One thing Todd Colino could do is throw that spladle on either side. And while that sounds simple enough, it really is a different move to both sides. It's a different matter of coordination. It's like being a switch hitter in baseball.
With all of this, there's only been 1 point scored. It's 1-0 in favor of Colino. He got the escape here. Minute and 15 seconds to go in the second period.
I'll tell you one thing Northampton underdogs have always been able to do is keep the score close. I think that's in large part to their physical muscularity. They're just able to hold opponents very close and really just tie up moves. So Northampton underdogs can't do that. Steve Gogler is doing that right here.
Colino's in deep.
This is the one level that Todd Colino is away from a Ryan Nunemaker. He hit that move very clean, was in very deep, and just didn't finish it right away. He may finish here, but he's got to be able to finish that right away.
He does. Take down Colino. He leads 3-0.
There's a point for Steve Gogler for leaving the mat. If we take a look at that on replay, you'll see that Todd Colino very simply dragged him off the mat. I think that's a good call.
That makes it 3-1.
That is officially a technical violation, just like locked hands.
It's a little too late. We have to see it before that.
But Todd Colino actually went from the middle of the mat and just pulled him right off the mat. The official rule is he is leaving the mat to avoid wrestling. That's exactly what he did. Picture perfect. Good call, Bob Coletta.
And we will get a look at it again. And we'll have Scott describe for you the thoughts of Bob Coletta as he makes the call.
And you'll see there was no other purpose for the way Colino was moving. There was no other purpose except to get off the mat.
3 seconds to wrestle. 3-1. Second period. We'll look at that point at the end of this period. That's the way it'll end. 3-1 Colino. Here's the replay.
Now watch. They stand up. Colino has him, pulls him, pulls him, pulls him, pulls him, and now they're off the mat. That's a good call. You'll never make that call without the fans booing. Never, ever, ever. You can make a lot of other calls without upsetting the fans. That's one that won't work. That's a great call by Bobby Coletta. It's one that takes guts to make, but I'll guarantee you it's the right call.
Colino is on top, and he leads 3-1. We'll come back to the center after a stalemate and after they untangle one another.
Colino favored here, but certainly not for bonus points, so he's doing exactly as expected, but he's only one very quick move away from Steve Gogler. Certainly can't feel very comfortable about that.
.142, third period.
Yeah, that dragging off the mat might be a little confusing to some fans. That's not stalling. That's a technical violation. You don't need a warning or anything like that, and it doesn't matter if he was warned in the past. That's an automatic point. Colino has been a leg wrestler for quite some time. Likes to work up top, likes to work the power half, cross-face cradle series. This time he's trying to work the arm up over the head. There's a stalemate called. I'll tell you, if we see it again, Colino might get warned for stalling. You've been seeing the numerous Northampton cheerleaders across the way. I think that might be the biggest squad we've seen. Gogler gets the point.
Big escape. He now trails by 1, and it'll all come down to the final minute of the third period. Score, Colino leads.
Those cheerleaders have on T-shirts that I think were specially made for this match. It says, "You've wrestled the rest, now wrestle the best." On the bottom it says Concrete Kids. I think they were specially made for this match.
And the old cement job slogan is on the back. The name for the Concrete Kid pin.
I thought the back said "Hi Gary" for Twin County.
"30 seconds. You'll hear a lot of yelling now for stalling.
The Gogler takedown, I really think, wins it. I think he'll be able to control Colino as he's behind him, but they are still standing. There is the takedown. With 15 seconds to go, they're out of bounds. Gogler with the takedown, he leads 4-3.
Now he has to keep Colino down for 14 seconds.
Colino must explode here. He must really come off the bottom. He's hoping for a draw here as he is down by 1. He's out to the side. He's got the head. He's sprawling. He needs to control the hands. If he hangs on here, there's nothing.
There it is.
He escapes.
There it is. We're tied at 4-4. Colino and Gogler end with a 4-4 draw. 2 team points awarded to Northampton, 2 to Nazareth. It's 11-8. We'll be right back at 1:35.
Looking for the finest and choice seafood, prime steaks, and weekend specialty prime rib? Then look no further than the Dockside Inn, Howardtown Road in North Catasauqua. With over 30 years experience, owners George and Althea have created a restaurant which features quality lunches for as low as $2.50 and dinners starting at $6.50. Enjoy your favorite cocktails in the relaxed atmosphere of the Dockside Inn. Banquet facilities are available and reservations are accepted. So pull into port and drop anchor at the Dockside Inn or in Howardtown Road in North Catasauqua.
All-Star Sporting Goods offers the area's finest selection of athletic supplies and equipment. We're known for being the #1 team equipment specialist and in providing you with only the best in custom uniforms, sporting goods supplies, athletic footwear, and custom high school jackets for any area high school. We feature the most complete line of baseball equipment and athletic medical supplies, plus expert screen printing provided on the premises. Don't settle for second best. Get your Booster Club businesses and Little Leagues into All-Star Sporting Goods at 1222 Main Street, Northampton. You'll finish like a winner when you bring your car into one of the 3 fabulous Andretti Hanna Auto Wash locations. Experience the Hanna Magic Wash process. It's made for safety on all car surfaces, new and old. The Andretti Hanna Auto Wash will take care of your car's every need. And remember that our customers are provided with the best full-service car wash available. Check out our daily specials and save. Visit one of the 3 locations at 3310 Airport Road, Allentown, 2209 Lehigh Street, Allentown, or on Route 191 just south of Route 22. Join Aunt Patsy and friends on Sunny Farms, Wednesday nights at 6:30 and Thursdays at 7, right here on Twin County Cable 4.
Let's be best friends and help.
You're viewing Twin County Cable 4, your choice for community programming in the Lehigh Valley.
We're back. 135 pounds. Steve Hersick of Nazareth, a junior, 9-4-1, against Steve Moyer of Northampton, a senior, 13-4. No score here. We've gone 35. Make it 45 seconds into the first period. Let's take another look. There's that escape. Well, no, there's the takedown, and now you'll come back to the center for the escape. We have a takedown here in live action by Hersick. Hersick leads 2-0.
He slaps on the cradle.
We better get back to the live action. Let's go. Here we are.
Steve Hersick got the takedown, and he knows that cradle for sure. They said it slips off. We will get a look at the finish of that bout, the escape. Nothing controversial about it. The only controversial thing was the fact that it was a draw, and there was one penalty point. Nazareth fans will tell you it was controversial, but from my view, the perfect call.
Final 30 seconds, and in trouble is Steve Moyer. No.
A roll-through headlock.
1 second, says Gene Wass, not the 2 seconds required for points.
And you know, say what you want about Gene Wass, but that is one thing that Gene has significantly improved on. He used to wave off 2 counts in about 5/10 of a second. He didn't do it there. The old Gene Wass would have done it improperly, and now he's doing it right. That's a great call by Gene Wass. He's really improved that.
What do we have? We have a 2-point reversal for Moyer right at the buzzer. Gene gave the 1, but then he saw it was going to be a reversal. We're tied at 2-2.
What he did was put up 2 fingers on the wrong hand. You'll see it as they go right there. He put up 2 fingers on the red wristband, and that would have been Nazareth, so he changed it to the green wristband.
You know, people that were at the Easton Northampton match, which turned out to be a very exciting match in terms of team score, with Northampton winning that one on a takedown, I believe, by Billy Wombold, or a reversal, I'm not sure which it was, in the last second of his match, and the Northampton Concrete kids went on to win. But Scott, most people that saw that talked about how dull the wrestling was, that it was just a long night of wrestling with nobody doing very much, although the team score made it look like it was exciting. So far tonight, we've had a lot of action.
We really have. I keep talking about how young these guys are all across the district, and in a big match, they'll wrestle close to the vest. I think part of what's happening here is that Northampton is at home, and they can open up a lot better at home. There's the roll-through headlock for Steve Hersick once again, as Moyer was trying for the Peterson. I think the kids open up better at home, and I think Nazareth normally opens up. So I think it's a perfect combination that we have here to really see some wide-open wrestling.
1:47, second period. We're tied at 2-2.
There's the cross-face cradle. That's his favorite one. And what he'll try and do is swing Moyer straight back. He'll sit right under that leg. Moyer's trying to grab the leg. The right thing to do, reaches up on top. Moyer will get the reversal.
Beautifully defended by Moyer, and he turns it into an offensive reversal. He leads 4-2.
He was in some trouble there, as Steve Hersick had that cross-face cradle really slapped on. Moyer did the right thing, blocked where Hersick was trying to scoop, and then got his hand out.
Gene Wass looking in, getting the wrestlers ready to wrestle. Hersick, he has the reversal.
No, he didn't get it. He didn't get it. He got the reversal with no back points, as Moyer was there. Allow a split-second reaction time and then start counting. That's exactly what Gene did. No 2. That's going to be potentially dangerous.
50 seconds, 4-4 the score, second period. Another one of those key toss-up type bouts that Scott talked about at the top of the show. I know he's already adjusted his prediction. He's made things a little closer for Northampton.
Yeah, all the bouts have gone according to plan, except, of course, the draw. We never count on a draw. But Northampton has done enough damage. I had it as an 11-point bout, and if it finishes as I planned, it'll be a 4-point bout. So they've really done a nice job. Here's that roll-through headlock again for Steve Hersick. He steps over it. He can't get it. All he's gotten on 3 rolling headlocks is 1 count for Gene Wass. And now the escape.
Moyer leads 5-4. Takedown by Hersick. He leads 6-5.
15 seconds to go. Hersick trying to work that cross-face cradle. Needs to work it nice and slow. Has it across. Gene making sure that's not covering a nose or a mouth there. Instead goes for the half Nelson. And there's the end of the period.
6'5" Hersick. This has been flat-out exciting wrestling, Scott, in this one.
You know, everything goes right to the edge. Everything is going on, and it looks like one wrestler is going to do something, and the other wrestler takes advantage of it.
On the bottom will be Hersick. On top, Steve Moyer. There's the escape, and we're tied at 7-5. Hersick leads.
Hersick almost went in right over Moyer. I don't know what stopped Moyer from shooting. It looked like a double-leg takedown staring him in the face. There he is in on a single leg as Hersick applies that quarter Nelson. Steve Hersick has shown a propensity in this bout to work way upper body, not just upper body, but above the neck, as he's done the rolling headlock, the quarter Nelson. Now he's an over and under. I think Steve Hersick works better with his basic wrestling. While that roll-through headlock has gotten Moyer to his back, he's really not able to control that headlock. I don't think it should be a part of his initial repertoire. It's something he can go to. It looks like he's looking for that sort of move a little bit too often here. There's Hersick with the over and under. Won't convert it. Moyer has Hersick in trouble.
And back point. What a move by Moyer.
He's still got Hersick in trouble as he's still under the arm. He'll get at least two more. I'm not sure if it'll be three.
I think he has three, Scott.
I don't see anything on Gene Wass's hand, any preliminary indication. There's a potentially dangerous 3 back points.
Moyer with a takedown. 3 near fall points. Moyer leads 10-7.
Hersick trying the over and under. Not able to convert that.
Good close-up look at Steve Moyer, the senior.
Sinks a deep, deep, tight waist as he's just trying to control Steve Hersick for some time here to take some time off the clock. Content now to go down on the single leg. Hersick looking for the near cradle.
25 seconds.
You see the clock there as there's another over and under. 1 point given to Hersick for the escape.
Take down Moyer. Moyer leads 12-8. Moyer's going to win it. By a 12-8 score, Northampton, Steve Moyer. The Concrete Kids go up by a 14-8 score. They would.
Rate home equity loans as low as prime. We're extending our holiday offer for a limited time only to help homeowners pay off credit card bills, make home improvements, anything at all. Trust the Money Store to give homeowners a prime package when they need it most. Call right now, 1-800-LOAN-YES. Program may be canceled without notice.
The Concrete Kids are winning the key matchup so far tonight. Here's another 140 pounds. Ken Hawes of Nazareth, a senior, 7-4 on the season. Tim Everett, a sophomore, 11-6 for the Concrete Kids. Another one of those key toss-up bouts. Northampton leads 14-8.
You know, the strange thing, Gary, is excited as the crowd is getting, the winners have basically been what we thought they would be.
Hawes with a takedown. He leads 2-0. The escape by Everett. 2-1.
I expected, or I predicted, Northampton to win this one. I have them splitting the toss-up bouts, and so far they have done exactly that. This is the third of 4 toss-up bouts, 152 being the final one. But it's gone exactly according to plan. A point here, a point there, sure, but almost exactly according to plan. And if it goes according to plan, Nazareth wins.
Indeed. Kenny Hawes.
Finish with a barrel roll. Finish with a good barrel roll. Stays under the arm, misses the headlock. If he misses this, Everett misses takedown.
Takedown and reversal. Takedown by Hawes, reversal by Everett. It is 4-3.
I think we just have a takedown. I think it's just a takedown, Everett.
That is the way it is on the board. They do have 3-2 on the board, so it is just a takedown by Everett. No reversal.
Yeah, he missed the barrel roll. He had Everett in some trouble. As now he stands, picks, arches, picks some more, gets himself in an arm bar by Everett. Everett now comes out front, looks for the cement job.
It's now 3-3 with the escape by Hawes. 3-3. 2-point takedown by Everett. 5-3 Everett.
He's riding a 2-on-1 here, going for the tilt. 20 seconds to go in the period. He tried coming out front once before. And while his wrestling ability has certainly been present, Gary, his color scheme is all wrong. He's got the orange singlet, the purple knee pad, and red sneakers. He's going 3 ways with that. I don't know what kind of statement that is. But on the scoreboard, he's ahead.
It's your basic ugly. 8 seconds. Don Roan wants him to keep Kenny Hawes on the mats. Don't give up any points in the final 8 seconds. Caution against Everett.
Just in case Bob Coletta didn't know, that was a caution.
The fans reminded him.
Remember, this year you get 2 cautions before any points are scored.
First period ends with Everett leading by a 5-3 score. Hawes will start on the bottom in the defensive position. As you're going to look at Ray Nunnemaker, he's seen a lot of these.
He was very, very much pleased with the way things were handled in Virginia, pleased with the accommodations, pleased with the competition, and pleased with the fact that he ran up 2 wins by a combined score of about 60 points. A super effort from the Blue Eagles away from the District 11.
There's the escape by Hawes, 5-4. Scott, I found it very interesting that when he arrived, they were told they were going up against the 2 best high school wrestling teams in all of Virginia. And then Ray's team went out and destroyed them. And then they were told, nah, you really should have wrestled these 2 schools because they're really good.
That would have been the matchup, yeah.
I don't think the Virginians were willing to give Ray his due.
I'm waiting to see the National Mat News and their assessment of the situation because from all accounts, Nazareth was simply the class of the entire situation down there. It's not a tournament per se. They don't crown a champion. Nazareth certainly handled themselves very well. And just the fact, they may be the best team in District 11, but just the fact that they're very close up here.
Beautiful takedown by Hawes.
Don Roan's got to be saying, boy, silly move, Timmy Everett, silly move. Other stuff is working and you roll on your back. But we've got young guys out here. They're going to throw that kind of stuff.
6-5 the score as Hawes has taken the lead here in the second period. He's gotten 3 unanswered points. Here comes the escape. We're tied at 6. Seems every time we look up at that scoreboard, so about 1 minute to go in the third period, we're tied.
And this is very even. 2 takedowns, 2 escapes for each wrestler. Probably the more aggressive takedowns for Everett. But Hawes certainly taking advantage of mistakes by Everett, and you need to do that too. There's that move again.
Still an escape. No takedown. They remain neutral.
What he's trying to do there, he's trying to grab a front headlock and roll all the way through with that. And to be honest with you, Gary, I don't know what happens after you roll all the way through. I've never, ever seen that move work for anything. You roll all the way through, you end up the same way you started. At best. At worst, you get taken down and pinned. And it's just not worth the roll.
I think Kenny Hawes was just as shocked. He saw him laying there in front of him and couldn't really do anything at all with him.
It's really the flashiest, useless move in wrestling.
A flashy, useless move is still a useless move. 6-6 at the end of 2 periods.
Everett wishes it was useless. useless because it's been useful to Kenny Hawes as he's got a takedown out of it. I think we got injury time here.
I believe we do, and I believe it is for Tim Everett. We are going to be very busy next week. We've already added an extra game for you as we will have the Colonial League First Half Championship. That game will be Salisbury against the winner of tonight's game, Saucon Valley. They're playing Southern Lehigh over at the Allen Phys Ed Center. And we believe the championship game will be played right back there at the Phys Ed Center. We'll have it for you on Monday night at 10 o'clock. Tuesday night at 10, we have Whitehall as they will be taking on Central Catholic at Whitehall.
Does Salisbury always play championship basketball?
When they have to. They needed a win on Friday or Thursday night. We had that. They certainly went out and dominated Southern Lehigh. They drew the bye out of the old hat, and now they're in the championship game.
Good move by Hawes, trying for the barrel. Instead, switches double leg. Not quite control yet as Everett goes under one arm.
Nothing.
That's what you call a non-call. It looked like 2. It wasn't 2. It could have been 2. There's more injury time for Everett. I don't know if we can get a replay of that, but what Bob Coletta was looking for was for Hawes to actually put Everett in trouble and hold him there. He didn't do that for long enough. Everett had control, in fact, enough control to throw Hawes over and get out of the situation entirely. If you look in the background there, that's Chad Feichtel with his shoulder wrapped up.
Feichtel, if you recall, won at 119 pounds by an 11-8 score. And in fact, let's recap for you what's happened to this point. At 103 pounds, it was Mike Tomzik of Northampton with a pin over Sean Topping in 159. Billy Chad won over Dan Tashner by a 13-6 score. Chad Feichtel, 119, won 11-8 over Joe Rubin. 125, Ryan Nunemaker of Nazareth, 7-2 over John Effinger. 130, Todd Colino and Steve Gaugler drew at 4-4. At 135, it was a 12-8 score. Steve Moyer of Northampton over Steve Hersick. We now are at 140 pounds. It is Tim Everett of Northampton leading by a 7-6 score.
And it looks like Chad Feichtel has a high-tech wrap there. It looks like a TENS setup. That's T-E-N-S on the shoulder that actually delivers an electro shock to the shoulder, so that would tend to make you think it's a muscular injury, wouldn't it, Gary?
Yes. That was my thought exactly. How do you get hooked up to one of those things?
It's a something electro nerve stimulant.
Sounds exciting to me.
It's T-E-N-S.
I imagine if you really don't like the guy, you just crank that sucker right up.
It really delivers a tingling type sensation. You see the wires actually leading up to him there. The power pack right on his lap, and with the adjustable knobs, he can adjust what's going in there.
You have to worry about putting your foot in a bucket of water?
It gives you a very strong tingling sensation, and it's, I guess, to relax the muscle and to allow it to stimulate and work itself out. So maybe a torn muscle or a strained muscle in that shoulder.
You know, if we get enough batteries, we could maybe hook Bob up to that, Bob Garris, and he could go on for years.
There you go, my medical update of the day.
40 seconds to wrestle. Everett leads by a 7-6 score. Off the mat they go. Back to the center they will go.
You know, the Nazareth fans, they're yelling that Everett forced the action off the mat. There is a difference in using the edge of the mat for defense and using the edge of the mat to avoid wrestling. A fine line sometimes, but Todd Colino certainly left the mat to avoid wrestling for one reason or another. And right here, Tim Everett left it as a point of defense.
Warning for stalling called against Everett, and Scott, that might become important.
That means he's got to move in, and that gives Ken Hawes the opportunity to make a shot. He's not doing that as Everett then jumps on top of him now with just 12 seconds to go.
Ray Nunemaker, for the first time tonight, rises up off of his seat and yells some instructions to Kenny Hawes.
Tries the barrel, moves around. He has to keep the arm. He won't get it. Good effort at the end.
2-point takedown awarded to Everett right at the buzzer. So Everett wins by a 9-6 score. The team score now, Northampton 17, Nazareth 8. Stay with us.
Angeles, city of the angels. Angel Town, a city under siege. Gang fights by day, full-scale war by night. Angel Town, its history is written in pain. Olivier Gruner, Teresa Saldana, Angel Town.
For gritty action, street gang style, order Angel Town on Viewer's Choice pay-per-view.
Hello, I'm Pat Huber, and I've been affiliated with Cable 4 since 1979. We produce Sunshine People, Sunny Farms, and Happenings. Occasionally, you heard me share about starting a full-power television station in the Lehigh Valley. Well, that's now a reality. WBPH TV 60 began broadcasting on December 27th. Our family Christian programming format is revolutionary. Tell your friends the good news and watch for us here on Twin County Cable.
Northampton has won 4 bouts, Nazareth 2. There's been 1 draw. Northampton has a fall in one of their 4 wins. We move to 145 pounds. Sean McAlone, a senior, 11-4-1 for the Blue Eagles. For Northampton, Stevie Ost, the senior, 3-5-1. Nazareth favored here. McAlone has the takedown. Let's take a look at the final few seconds, the last 12 of 140 pounds.
And Ken Hawes working for the barrel roll. He's under one arm, doing exactly what he should be doing. He needs to hang onto the arm a little tighter, and he would have been able to step over that. And right at the end here, he'll throw a crazy move to just try and get something going. That's why he gives up the takedown. Ray Nonemaker's not worried about that last takedown. Good close match all the way through. That's the way a toss-up match should go.
2-0 in favor of McAlone. Well, he tried to allow the escape, and Yost wants to turn it into a takedown. It'll be an escape.
McAlone, remember, a returning District 11 finalist, and that's how he got into the finals right there, was with a spladle against Chris Lazoyne of Stroudsburg in the semifinals, and then went up against none other than the inimitable Moss Grays in the final. Probably don't need to tell you how that one turned out, but Sean McAlone, returning District 11 finalist and expected to win right here, probably with some bonus points.
Some of the Nazareth fans walking around with their Virginia T-shirts. I think they have a T-shirt for every match. And they are a psychedelic pink.
The fluorescent is really very in.
Gene Wass will tie a shoe for Steve Yost. Wrestling again next Saturday night. Wilson Catasauqua. There you get a look at the Northampton T-shirts. We almost have a cheerleader for every 10 fans. And the place is sold out.
There's a bunch of them over there. There really are. In fact, there's an awful big crowd around the mat, and we don't have any photographers there. We have a little crowd of midget wrestlers in the corner. We have, 25 Northampton cheerleaders. We have a good 10 Nazareth cheerleaders. We even have an Eagle mascot. And that's just non-participants. We even have one referee too many.
She's headless at the moment, though, the Eagle.
I think it's really an atmosphere here for wrestling. Everybody's very close to the mat. There's enough fans. The noise really carries very well in this gym. As McAlone reaching again for the spladle. Oh, and he had the leg. He might have been able to work that one with some time left.
McAlone leads after one period by a 2-1 score. There you get a look at the packed house. We're not kidding you. It is packed on both sides of the gym, and you see all of those Northampton cheerleaders across on the edge of the mat. And one lonely wrestler kneels down, and he'll be followed by Sean McAlone.
I think this is the smallest packed house in the district, as I think they seat about 1,800 here.
Remember, Scott, how long it took them to move over here. They used to stay at the small gym in the old high school, We have stalling called against McAlone.
Parallel ride. I'll tell you, it's a good facility for wrestling. The only problem is it's 1,800 fans. It's about 1,200 fans too small. But it is a great place to watch a match. McAlone reaching again for the spladle. He's got the knee. He's still got the head trapped. The head of Yost is still trapped in the hip.
Not now.
McAlone will try and now work it just for the takedown. We know the spladle, a lethal move when used correctly and fully, normally results in a fall.
Believe it or not, it is Yost who is in control.
And remains in control with the stalemate.
Well, let's check that. McAlone.
I'm sorry, McAlone. Yeah, McAlone always started on top. So yeah,
there's the escape by Yost. 2-2 is the score.
Warning for stalling stands against McAlone. Next one will be a point. Nice quick shot by McAlone as he had the moving jump on the whistle just about right there. He goes over the top. He needs to use a shrug of some sort from this position. Not a very aggressive position to be from, but here comes over and under. And he said, nice shrug. Gets the takedown.
McAlone leads 4-2. There's the escape, 4-3. Yost sends it back to neutral. 32-second second period.
McAlone comes in 11-4-1. Yost 3-5-1. So McAlone really a prohibitive favorite. Nobody expected it to be this close, this far in, except maybe Steve Yost. Certainly is wrestling with confidence. He's now in deep on this single leg.
I would think, Scott, through the first 8 bouts, that Donnie Roan has to be pretty pleased with the way his kids have come out here to wrestle.
Well, he'd feel a lot more pleased. He knows that if things happen the way they're supposed to, I think he can probably look up and down his lineup and say, you know, we could lose this one. And they really have gone according to plan, and that's not good. They have gained a few points. They have not lost any points where they shouldn't have. So that's a little better, but he still needs to win a bout that he's not supposed to win.
4-3 the score now after 2 periods. McAlone leads over Yost. You get a look at Don Roan. So a critical third period here, maybe more critical for Nazareth. McAlone, as Scott said, a prohibitive favorite to win this bout, and he right now only leads by 1. Escape by McAlone. He leads by 3. This is where Scott often said, whoever gets the next takedown will win this bout.
You know, Yost has fit in deep. He's shown an ability to get in on the leg, but really has not been able to finish. McAlone in the deep this time, goes single, switches to double, goes lower leg, gets the takedown. Real nice job finishing by Sean McAlone.
7-3 McAlone. A minute and 26 seconds to wrestle. Getting very warm in the Northampton gym. Escape by Yost. Takedown McAlone. He has Yost in trouble.
He's got him in serious trouble. He's definitely getting 3. That's the fall.
4 minutes and 50 seconds. The fall comes from Sean McAlone. He tacks on 6. Nazareth points. The Blue Eagles now trail by 3. Scott, another look.
I'll tell you, it comes from the neutral position like a lot of big moves do. And it didn't look as tight as it ended up. But there's the drop. It's just a lateral drop, and he just plants that other shoulder down there. Boy, a lot of strength by Sean McAlone to finish that one off. That's all that was, pure strength.
152 pounds. We're going to take another look at the pin from another angle.
That's from up top, and that's how the fans see it. And you know, it just looks like a near fall situation. And it's a fall. That's it.
152, Adam Colombo of Nazareth, a sophomore, 3-1 on the year against Ben Kern of Northampton. He is a senior, 7-4 on the year. Take down Kern.
And in looking at tonight, I favored Colombo here in part so that we would split the toss-ups. But also, I like the way Colombo wrestles. I've only seen him once. But this is probably the best opportunity for Northampton to win where I have them scheduled to lose.
The escape by Colombo makes it 2-1. They'll go off the mat. They'll remain neutral.
Colombo not with the physique that we've seen out there, but he really uses his body size very well. Does a lot of rolls, a lot of throws. Is very unorthodox. Just dancing around a little out there as Colombo has the cross chest, trying to step over the top. Still has his toes in. Now they're out.
Each team has a pin. Northampton has 4 wins, Nazareth 3. There's been 1 draw. Thus, Northampton leads 17-14. We are in bout number 9. Monday night at 6:30. If you want to set the VCR, this will be back on again.
Front headlock by Colombo. As he's going over under. Instead, Kern does exactly the right thing. Tries to lock up the half Nelson. Colombo comes back out front. We've seen the over and under more times tonight maybe than the rest of the season combined. A lot of wrestlers are trying to hit it. Referred to in these parts as the cement job.
But as Shakespeare would say, much ado about nothing, as nothing happened there in the final 10 seconds. The score remains 2-1.
I didn't know Shakespeare was a wrestling fan.
He was. He really enjoyed the grappling.
He didn't call it wrestling, did he?
No, that was Bob Shakespeare Garrett. Can't get him to change that either.
It used to be wrestling. It really did. I mean, it's just that's what you had to call it. Just guys used to wear tights and just a big bulky knee. I mean, that was wrestling on the horsehair mats. And now it is wrestling. It really is.
That will do it. The first period ends. A little excitement. 2-1 score. Ben Kern leads Adam Colombo. Colombo on the bottom. We'll get the escape. There it is. 2-2. Another tie. We've had so many ties tonight.
What's making it exciting, I don't have any exact figures. We've had a lot of lead changes. And the Easton Northampton match, that didn't happen. One guy got in front 2-0, and they just held each other the rest of the way. It's exciting wrestling because it's back and forth, edge of the mat, end of the period type stuff, and that's what makes it exciting. Instead of worrying about losing it at the end of the period, these guys are trying to win it at the end of the period. Some are losing it anyway.
What a great ankle pick. Kern just set that up, reached out. Now he has to get his head out. He does. He gets the takedown.
Trying to go for the chin is Kern. No back points there. Instead tries to switch it to a half.
Off the mat they go.
That's what the assistant referee is there for. Gene Wass saw the full Nelson, told Bobby Coletta, if we can get another look at that, Donnie Roan is saying the hands never touched. If the hands would touch behind the head, it is a full Nelson. I don't know if we have a replay of that.
In other words, an illegal hold and 1 point awarded to Colombo.
Here it comes as he goes under one side, under the other. I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
I didn't see it there.
Hope we can get that that view again. Mike Trombetta, our director tonight, if we can get that view again, I really didn't see it.
I agree with you, Scott. I didn't see it either. He looked like he almost thought about it. All right, let's watch it again now. Let's see if we see the illegal hold here.
It's a good angle. Here we go. Under one side, under the other.
Right there, it looked like he thought about it, but he never got to it.
The hands never touched.
I don't think he had it. Score is right, however. They did award 1 point for an illegal hold.
Not sure what the remaining discussion is about.
There's the escape to tie it up. 4-4, second period.
Colombo tries to step over. He's got it.
Takedown by Kern.
I think, did we have takedown reversal or just takedown?
Well, they only put a takedown up on the board. I think it was very similar to that last situation we had, Scott, where we thought they gave a takedown reversal.
Well, in any case, it's a reversal here. And it'll be another reversal.
Reversal, 8-6 at the buzzer. And now the scorer's table wants to see the official. 8-6 is on the board. Let's take a look at the whole sequence.
Here's where Adam Colombo steps over. There is where I thought would be the two. In fact, Bob Coletta counted one time.
There is I saw him go like this.
I think we're looking at a takedown, reversal, reversal, reversal. After this,
that would make it 8-8, I believe. 8-8 would be the score.
I think you're right. I think we are looking at 8-8.
They're going to keep it 8-6.
It's possible that Bob Coletta reversed his call even after he counted there. But in looking
I thought I saw him wave his hand in a reversal sequence, but they do have 8-6 on the board.
If we get another chance to look at just the beginning of that sequence, I think you see Bob Coletta actually signal a 1 count for back points. What is Adam Colombo doing on top? Oh, it's the third period? We just started?
Period.
Okay.
Yeah, so he does get the top. He was on the bottom, and he still is in control, but in danger of losing that control.
We're not confused enough. I have to throw another one on the fire.
Kern gets the escape. He leads 9-6. However, had the takedown been awarded to Colombo, it would have been 9-8 at this point. All right, let's look at that sequence again.
Here comes the very beginning. Now watch Bob Coletta when he comes over here.
Watch his arm.
His right
Scott,
arm.
watch his arm.
It looked like he counted.
Now right here. See,
it looks like the reversal.
Well, man, I don't know if he's putting his arm straight up and down or whether he's going in that circular motion, but he did not award it, so that's the way it's going to stand. We're back to live action, 1:10 on the clock. Kern leads 9-6. One minute to wrestle. That sequence sort of makes you forget about the illegal hold.
It really does, and it probably won't matter here as we have a 3-point difference. Although you could say that Adam Colombo might be wrestling different, or Ben Kern is, and there's no takedown yet. No takedown yet. A cradle is not automatic control. A lot of fans mistake that. A cradle is not automatic control. Kern in deep now. Switches to a double. It looks like he'll convert this one. Real nice takedown for Ben Kern.
There it is. 9, make it 11-6. Kern may give up an escape here to Colombo. In the final 3 seconds, he does not. The score, Ben Kern 11, Adam Colombo 6, Northampton 20, Nazareth 14. Northampton wins their 5th bout. We move to 160 pounds. Mark Matson, the sophomore from Nazareth, 7-6-1 against Andy Doster, the senior from Northampton. He is 11-5. Doster favored here.
And the toss-up matches are done. Northampton has won 3 out of 4 of those toss-up matches. Every other bout has gone according to plan. Northampton has done what they've had to do to win this match. Now the onus is on Nazareth to pull something out.
And I'll remind you, Scott, that you have chosen in the last 4 bouts Nazareth to win 2 and Northampton to win 2. Now, it's a matter of how they win.
Well, you can throw on top of that, I put Nazareth to win 2 by fall. They can't do any better than I've put them down for. They need to win here at 160 or at heavyweight. I don't think they're going to beat Jeremy Grimm. I don't think you're going to beat Andy Doster. I also have Andy Doster down for a bonus point.
Take down Doster. Northampton wrestlers have been very aggressive tonight.
They really have. Well, both sides really have. We've seen a lot of moves thrown. In fact, Nazareth may be aiding in that aggression by opening themselves up. They're making the move.
It's been really fine wrestling by both sides. Crowd-pleasing wrestling.
It really has. I think if it was any lesson at the crowd, we'll let you know about that, too. But there really has been very little occasion for even stalling calls or anything like that. I think you owe a lot of that also to these 2 guys in the stripes, Bobby Collette and Gene Wass. It's been a very difficult match to call. There have been many, many times where the calls have been on the edge and at the end. And these 2 guys have really handled it incredibly well.
There is no more pressure-packed environment than to be an official here.
Some would argue that the Phillipsburg pit might compete.
I may go along with that. I'll retract my statement. This one doesn't quite rank up to that, but there's a warning for stalling against Mark Matson. The officials can't win, Scott. That time, Gene Wass calls stalling, and the fans yell at Bob Coletta for not calling it. Takedown by Doster. Somebody yelled, "Why didn't you call that, Bob?" 4-1 Doster.
You know, the best thing about an assistant official is normally you're out there with no friends. At least with an assistant, you got one friend. I think they're working very well as a team. I think it's a good lesson in assistant refereeing.
Scott's got a great story to tell about the JV referee tonight, and I probably will forget to talk to him about it, and we'll probably have no time to get into it. But if we do, you talk about an interesting set of circumstances that throws you into the limelight. I don't know, Scott, whether we have time here, but you might want to...
Well, we can set it up anyway. Tony Phillips is the guy, refereed the JV match, has a lot of style, a lot of flair. But up until the beginning of this year, he had done just midget matches. Well, it turns out that he filled in for the Bethlehem Catholics Louisiana match, which was wrestled as a prelude to the Lehigh East Stroudsburg University match. He was a last-minute fill-in for that, doing his first varsity match in a long, long, long time. And did that, finished it up, no problem. Was out getting a soda afterwards, and the Lehigh athletic director came up to him as we had another takedown by Andy Doster.
Doster leads 7-1. We continue the story.
The Lehigh athletic director comes up to Tony and says, "Tony, don't take your stuff off. Our official for the Lehigh East Stroudsburg match didn't show up yet." So here's Tony Phillips doing nothing but midget matches and one varsity match now, waiting on deck to do the Lehigh East Stroudsburg match.
On television, by the way.
On Channel 39 with a wireless microphone. Well, as you may have guessed, the varsity official never showed. Tony Phillips did the Lehigh East Stroudsburg match. As Andy Doster
takedown. Doster leads 9-2.
And in fact, the punchline to the whole story is one time, as the wrestlers were heading out of bounds, Tony blew the whistle a little bit early. A takedown occurred inbounds, but Tony had blown the whistle. The coach called him over to the table. Tony says, "Coach, I blew it. We're going neutral." And that was the end of that story. So Tony Phillips received a standing ovation for the Lehigh Valley chapter for doing something for the good of the chapter, filling in twice. And Tony Phillips now does nothing but midgets and college.
And maybe the clincher is East Stroudsburg beat Lehigh for the first time ever, I believe.
75 years of competition, and nobody blamed it on Tony.
Final 15 seconds, second period. Andy Doster leads Mark Matson by a 9-3 score.
Andy Doster has been nothing but impressive. You see this guy at weigh-in. I mean, his waist is about as big as my thigh, and it's just very slim, and then he's got a marvelous physique. A classic wrestler's build in that sense. And then Mark Madsen, the other classic wrestler's build, very tall, very thin, and knows how to use that. Andy Doster has certainly overcome that.
And if you're starting to feel a little pressure in the gymnasium, it's beginning to fall upon Darren Wenrich and Dan Matson of Nazareth. They are going to have to, it appears, come up with some falls. There's a warning for stalling. The second against Matson. Point awarded to Doster. Doster now leads 10-4, although they did not put the point up on the board.
No, that is definitely the second warning.
They now have 11-4, but we think it should be 12-4.
No question about it.
It is. There it is. 12-5 with the escape.
Madsen trying to kill some time and lock in the crotch here. Trying to gain a stalemate or some lost time. Now loses that, gets the takedown.
Off the mat they go. Doster leads by 9 with a lot of time. 1:18, and Matson has hurt his ankle.
He's got some tape on that already.
Scott said at the top of the show, you will not see a taller 160-pounder, I don't believe.
Injury time is not being run as the scorekeeper called Gene Wass over to the table. And I think Gene said you can look at it while we check this out.
I believe Doster is really the one with the clock.
It looks like we could run it on both of them because Madsen is getting some attention.
The bout official, Bob Coletta, who goes with the injured wrestler, is with Andy Doster.
That's a good point. Bob is checking for coaching during a timeout, which is illegal for the injured wrestler.
Take another look.
Not sure what happened on the edge here.
Both wrestlers got hurt here.
Yeah, they just came down, and it doesn't look like much of anything.
There's the twist of the ankle on Matson. And I don't know what happened to Doster. Like he got one in the groin, Scott.
They're not treating him right for that. They should be bringing his knees back over his head or bouncing him up and down on the mat, though I'm not sure what either of those does. It's just what you do when it happens. And they didn't do that. I don't know. Maybe the wind got knocked out of him somehow.
Now, if somebody brought my knees back over my head, I would say that then they were not treating it right.
Got your batteries going.
All right, back to the mat they come. 14-6 now as Matson gets the escape. So right now it is a major decision by Doster, but one feels there'll be more points added on here with all this time left.
And we've had a lot of action to this point. Of course, all the points for Madsen on escape. And all the points but 2 for Doster on takedowns. He has one escape and has the stalling point.
$50 seconds.
It really appears, Gary, it's coming down to heavyweights. I don't think there can be any question about it at this point, and you got 2 young guys in there. Ray Nunemaker needs to go for the win, and he'll put Jim Lutz out there. Gene Watts says no takedown. Mark Madsen still over the back of Andy Doster.
It would certainly do well for the Blue Eagles if Madsen can pick up a takedown here and figure out how to get a point.
Yeah,
all of his points, however, have come on escapes that have basically been allowed by Doster.
Doster really not necessarily looking for another takedown, and he can't pick up the tech fall. He has the major locked up, but he really can't get taken down.
14 points here will make it 24-14 with 3 bouts to go.
And the best Nazareth can hope for is to take it into heavyweight, and they will do that at 24-14. Between Wenrich and Madsen, they need to pick up 7 then.
Blue Eagles are in trouble, Scott.
They really are.
Takedown, Doster at the horn. Doster wins by a 16-6 score, 14 points. The Blue Eagles up by 10 with 3 bouts to go. We'll be right back.
The critics raved and audiences cheered for the surprise smash hit of 1990. And Viewer's Choice has got it.
Pretty woman, walking down the street. Pretty woman, the kind I like to meet. Pretty woman.
Pretty Woman. It's pretty amazing how easy it is to order on Viewer's Choice. You just can't see it often enough. The blockbuster hit Pretty Woman on Viewer's Choice.
Is back.
Know what I mean?
And this time he's accidentally landed in jail.
The hoop scale, the slammer, the joint, Alcatraz, San Quentin, same thing.
And been sent to the chair.
The hot seat, the meat, deep 6.
Now Ernest is doing his time. Doing his thing. Doing it all. In the movie that's got it all.
Charm with dead meat jockey Elvis. After the surgery.
Ernest Goes to Jail.
2 thumbs up.
Order crazy, zany, PG-rated fun for the whole family. Ernest Goes to Jail on Viewer's Choice.
Are you interested in your health, what you're eating, perhaps dining out at good restaurants? I'm Bill Cooper for To Your Health. We're on Tuesday evenings at 6:30 and Fridays at 7. We hope to see you then.
You're viewing Twin County Cable 4, your choice for community programming in the Lehigh Valley.
We are back. We're at 171 pounds for the Blue Eagles. Darren Wenrich, senior, 12-3 on the year. For the kids, Bill Wumbold, a junior, 3-9 on the year. Billy, of course, got the big win in the Easton match. If he doesn't win, if it ends in a draw, Easton wins the matchup. With 1 second to go, he got the takedown. Beautiful move by Wenrich.
That's an arm drag, a long arm drag, a standing arm drag down with the trip. He's used that on a number of occasions, really uses it well. Seems that that move only works at the heavier weights. Wenrich cranks him over.
This could do it. Wenrich expected to pin here. There it is. 59 seconds. Darren Wenrich of Nazareth brings the Blue Eagles to within 4, 24-20.
All Madsen and Wenrich are trying to do here as we get the replay, you'll see him just go over, half Nelson body press. Actually, body press. Well, there's the reverse half as he slips it in. That's tight. Good hold, Darren Wenrich. All Dan Madsen and Darren Wenrich are trying to do is to give Jim Lutz the opportunity to win this.
Madsen, Dan Madsen of Nazareth, a senior, 9-0, has the takedown. Jesse Cucker of Northampton, a junior, 9-7.
All they're trying to do is have Jim Lutz come out and not have to get bonus points. They know he has to win. They just don't want him to have to get bonus points.
Madsen got 2 near fall points. He leads 4-0. He's clapping the cradle on. This could be it.
Oh, that cradle's tight. Danny Madsen
there it is. 31 seconds. Dan Madsen. It's Nazareth 26. Northampton 24. Another look.
There's the Nazareth cradle. Danny Madsen, all-time leading pinner at Nazareth High School. Here you see why. He just comes over the top of that. They sit there for a couple of seconds. The cradle is on. Danny Madsen sits back on the near shoulder. Gene Wass says, boy, that's good enough for me. Boom.
Scott, I hope everybody realizes that the history of Twin County Wrestling is you better not turn the set off before heavyweight.
I'll tell you what, how many times has this happened? We are now down to the heavyweight match. We expect to see Jim Lutz for Nazareth. We have already seen Jason Grimm for Northampton.
At heavyweight for the Blue Eagles, Jim Lutz, a senior, 6-4. For Northampton, Jason Grimm, he's only a sophomore, but he's a good one. 9-6 on the year.
Jim Lutz will hit a barrel roll, and for a heavyweight, that's a heck of a move. The winner wins it for his team.
We don't even have to describe this one.
I can't hear myself describe it. and there's not much happening on top of that.
1:30, first period.
Here's the barrel roll. Too early to talk about it, but obviously a draw favors the Blue Eagles. Jason Grimm comes in favored, not by much. If we were to throw in another toss-up match, this would have to be it. We're not saying he is a prohibitive favorite by a long shot.
Let's reflect back. We had Easton against Nazareth. Easton winning 27-24. Going to heavyweight, Jim Lutz got the pin at 3 minutes and 40 seconds. And I believe the following week, Lutz got beat in the Phillipsburg match, and Phillipsburg won it.
In fact, he got pinned. Of his 4 losses, 3 are by fall.
Takedown, Lutz.
Jim Lutz.
The Nazareth Blue Eagle wrestlers are beside themselves. 35 seconds. "27 seconds. Back to the center of the mat."
And Gary, in a match with the caliber of these two wrestlers, and they're certainly not blue chippers. They're good guys to stick out there. But you have to think that one guy's going to make a mistake, the other guy's going to take advantage of it, and that's going to be the difference. We saw Jim Lutz with a good move there, a good shrug move, but a defensive move nonetheless.
20 seconds. There's the escape by Grimm. It's 2-1. Whoever wins, wins for his team.
I don't know what that was. I think there was some tongue action there from Grimm. He does trail 2-1, but he looks very confident.
Lutz leads after 1 period.
One thing I learned when I wrestled, never give a guy another reason to beat you. And that may be what Jason Grimm did. Well, it'd be interesting to see how
I think
Jim
Bob
Lutz
Coletta
responds.
said something to Jason, too, about any action. Lutz is on the bottom.
It is illegal to incite the crowd, and it looked like that's what that was.
Big kid for a sophomore is Jason Grimm.
Jim Lutz comes in at 205. Grimm probably has 20 pounds or so on him.
Escape by Lutz. He leads 3-1.
Grimm will begin the 3rd period on bottom. I really think one of these guys will make a mistake. The other guy will take advantage of it.
Interestingly enough, Scott, Bob Flounders in the Express this morning picked Nazareth to win 28-24. If Lutz goes on to win, Nazareth will win 29-24. If Grimm wins, it's Northampton 27-26.
That's assuming neither one pins the other, and that's certainly not out of the question.
Jason Grimm so far has not been able to do very much against Lutz.
He really hasn't, and Lutz really hasn't hit his best move yet. That barrel roll works for him. He'll go under the arm, he'll go with the leg, and he'll hit a bona fide barrel roll. The fans all yelling for stalling, and they both may be stalling here, and I think we might see that.
There it is, back to the center. No stalling call, just back to the center. And now the table, scoring table. Not sure what that was all about.
The official scorekeeper held up 3 fingers of Bob Coletta and said 3 is correct. I don't know what that meant.
But they also ran a couple of seconds off the clock.
Oh, he was 3 seconds late, I guess, in starting the clock, so they ticked it down to a minute. I think without anybody noticing, and not that anybody would have cared anyway.
Lutz fights off. Now Grimm reaching.
Very important for Lutz to stay neutral here.
Takedown by Grimm. Lutz is in trouble. There it is. It comes at 2 minutes and 33 seconds. Make it 3:33. 3 minutes, 33 seconds. Jason Grimm has given Northampton the win by a 30-26 score. You can just listen. Tell you what, we promise you the best in high school wrestling, and we never know if we're going to fulfill those promises. But we have had Easton Nazareth went down to heavyweight. We've had Northampton Phillipsburg went down to heavyweight. We have had Northampton Nazareth go down to heavyweight, and you see a very happy Jason Grimm, and there are the newspapers. You become a hero real fast. Ted Meitzel, Bob Flounders, and now we are going to look at the fall.
Real simple standing cradle. He just rolled through with it. Jim Lutz was flat. Oh, there it is. You can see it from there. It looks very, very flat. Jim Lutz didn't believe it. He got up and said to Gene Weiss, what?
Scott Boris, we reflect on the season so far. The Blue Eagles, with their win over Easton early on, they were crowned the #1 team, and then they turned around and went to Phillipsburg. The State Liners knock them off, and the State Liners become the #1 team. The State Liners come up here. Northampton knocks them off, and they become the #1 team, but I never quite felt that Northampton quite got the respect you deserve as #1. That is going to change as of 9:40 tonight.
They did what they had to do. They take the tossed-up matches. They win 3 out of 4. They needed a big win at heavyweight. They got it. They wrestled aggressively. They wrestled tough. They hit the moves that they had to hit. They scored on the edge. They scored at the end of the periods. That's what you have to do. Nazareth did it too. Northampton did it more often. That's the story.
More often they did do it, as Northampton won 7 bouts, 2 of them by fall. Nazareth won 5 bouts, 3 of them by fall. There was that one all-important draw that occurred at 130 pounds. But with all of that, the Concrete Kids have come away with a 30-26 victory here tonight. Scott, any final words?
I'll tell you, if this is the story of the wrestling season, we had the crowd charge them out at Nazareth. You said down to heavyweight. It's just been a real exciting season. We've said that the level of wrestling has come down. The level of excitement has multiplied time and time again. I'm looking forward to districts.
Well, we are going to have team championships in district as we did last year. And boy, oh boy, will they be exciting, as we'll have both the AA and the AAA team championships if we possibly can. But we'll definitely have the AAAs for you.
And, you know, last year people were questioning whether it was worth it to have team districts. I don't hear anybody asking those questions this year.
There won't be any complaints this year when the teams get together. Well, there you have it. Nazareth loses to Northampton by a 30-26 score. Of course, Jason Grimm with the fall at 3 minutes and 33 seconds after Nazareth had come back to take a 26-24 lead going into heavyweight. We know you have enjoyed it, and we thank Scott Barr. Mike Trombetta has been our director, our camera people working under tough circumstances here in a packed house. We thank you for watching. I'm Gary Laubach. For Scott Barr, the whole crew, let's take one more look at how it all League champions. They do have one match left with Wilson, and they will face the East Bend Conference champions, the Northampton Concrete Kids, coached by Don Roan. Don is in his 9th year as the head coach here at Northampton, and they, of course, come in with only one loss. They are 21-1 on the year. Nazareth 16-2 on the year, and this is a rematch of last year's first District 11 Class AAA wrestling.